Something in your body is controlling your heart rate, your stress level, your blood pressure, and even the silent inflammation that builds up over years. Most people never notice it, but it is always running in the background. And the most surprising part is this: something as simple as the way you breathe can activate it, strengthen it, and even calm it down within minutes. There is a nerve inside your body that works like a hidden switch. When it is active, your heart beats slower, your blood vessels relax, and your immune system cools down. When it is weak, stress rises, inflammation builds, and blood pressure creeps up without warning. This nerve is called the vagus nerve, and today you will see how specific breathing techniques can influence it more powerfully than most people realize. Most people think breathing is automatic and nothing more. In reality, it is one of the rare functions that you can control voluntarily, and that gives you access to systems deep inside the body. Every slow breath sends signals to the brain. Every calm exhale lowers the alarm response. Every controlled breathing pattern nudges this nerve into action. For years, researchers believed this nerve only handled digestion and heart rate, but recent studies reveal a far wider role. It affects brain inflammation. It influences the immune system. It acts as a messenger between your organs and your mind. And when breathing activates it, remarkable changes follow. In this video, you will learn how breathing affects your vagus nerve on a biological level. You will see how the body reacts when the vagus nerve switches on, and why this shift is linked to lower blood pressure, better heart rhythm, reduced inflammation, and deeper relaxation. You will also learn the specific breathing patterns that experts consider the most effective for stimulating the vagus nerve. At the end, you will know exactly how to practice them safely, correctly, and consistently. But this is not only a video about breathing exercises. It is a video about unlocking something that has been inside you since birth, something that evolution designed as your natural calming system, something that you can strengthen over time, just like a muscle. Many people walk through life with a low-functioning vagus nerve, never knowing it affects their sleep, their mood, their digestion, and their stress levels. By the end of this video, you will understand the signs of weak vagal activity and how a few minutes of intentional breathing each day can gently retrain this system. Stay until the end, because the breathing techniques you will learn are not the typical methods most people talk about. They include lesser-known patterns that have been showing promising results in recent research, especially for reducing inflammatory markers in the body. You will discover why slow exhalation creates a stronger signal than inhalation. You will understand why breathing through the nose has a different effect on the brain compared to breathing through the mouth. You will learn why the diaphragm, a muscle most people barely use, holds the key to activating the vagus nerve with precision. There is even a moment in the video where we will explore a small but powerful detail: the way your heart rate changes slightly with every breath you take. This tiny rhythm, often unnoticed, is one of the clearest signs of how well your vagus nerve is functioning. And once you learn how to read this signal, you will be able to tell within seconds whether your body is stressed or relaxed. So stay with me. Each section builds on the one before it, and by the time we reach the end, you will have a complete understanding of how breathing can influence your biology in ways most people have never heard about. This information can help you feel calmer, sleep better, support healthier blood pressure, and reduce the long-term wear and tear caused by chronic stress. Welcome to the channel, and thank you for being here. If you want more simple science-based videos that help you understand your body better, make sure to subscribe. There is so much more to learn, and this is only the beginning. Deep inside your body, there is a single nerve that acts like a communication highway. It stretches from your brainstem all the way down through your neck, chest, and abdomen. This is the vagus nerve. It connects your brain to your heart, your lungs, your digestive system, and several other major organs. No other nerve in the body covers this much ground. Because of its long path, it receives information from many parts of the body and sends commands back almost instantly. It is constantly listening and responding, even when you are not aware of it. The vagus nerve is a core part of the parasympathetic nervous system. This system is often called the rest and digest branch because it slows the body down and creates balance after stress. It works in the opposite direction of the stress response. When the sympathetic system pushes the body into alert mode, the parasympathetic system brings everything back to a calm, steady state. The vagus nerve is the main channel through which this calming signal travels. When it is functioning well, the body can shift smoothly from tension to relaxation. This nerve plays a role in many processes you feel every day. It helps regulate your heartbeat. It helps control your breathing rhythm. It influences digestion and nutrient absorption. It communicates with the gut to help control inflammation. It even affects mood and emotional stability because it sends signals directly to areas of the brain involved in stress and calm. Many people are surprised to learn that the gut and brain communicate through this nerve more than through hormones or the bloodstream. When the vagus nerve becomes active, the body reacts quickly. Heart rate lowers, blood vessels relax. Breathing becomes slower and deeper. Digestion improves. Muscles loosen. The brain shifts into a calmer state. This is not a small effect. It is a full body response. The activation of this nerve tells the body that danger has passed, that resources can be conserved, and that healing can begin. It is one of the most important biological tools for maintaining balance, stability, and long-term health. Breathing may seem simple, but the way you breathe changes how your body functions on a deep level. When you slow your breathing and use your diaphragm, the breath becomes fuller and more controlled. The diaphragm pulls downward, the lungs expand, and more air enters with less effort. This style of deep, slow breathing does more than improve airflow. It stimulates pressure sensors inside the chest and around the lungs. These sensors send signals directly to the vagus nerve, telling it to activate. This is why controlled breathing is such an effective way to influence the nervous system. As the vagus nerve receives these signals, its activity increases. Scientists call this vagal tone, and it reflects how responsive and strong the nerve is. Higher vagal tone means the body can switch out of stress mode faster. When the vagus nerve senses long, steady breaths, it sends a clear message to the brain that the environment is safe. This shifts the entire system from the fight or flight state into rest mode. The stress response that tightens muscles, speeds the heart, and raises alertness begins to turn off. The body stops preparing for danger and starts recovering energy. This shift is not subtle. The moment vagal tone rises, the body reacts in several measurable ways. The heart begins to slow down. Blood pressure decreases as blood vessels relax and widen. Breathing becomes more regular and smooth. The digestive system begins to work more efficiently because the body is no longer prioritizing stress responses over basic functions. Even the electrical rhythm of the heart changes slightly with each breath, which is a sign that the vagus nerve is guiding the system. The effects continue as long as the breathing stays slow and steady. With every calm exhale, the vagus nerve becomes more active. This creates a physical sense of relief, both in the mind and the body. Muscles loosen, tension fades. The internal systems shift into a state that supports rest, healing, and overall balance. This is the mechanism that makes breathing one of the most effective tools for influencing the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is often described as the body's relaxation switch, but its role goes far beyond controlling heart rate and breathing. It is also deeply involved in the immune system. This connection surprises many people because we usually think of immunity as something separate from the nervous system. Yet the vagus nerve constantly monitors inflammation in the body and communicates with the brain about what is happening in the immune environment. This makes it a central part of how the body decides when to activate or calm down its inflammatory responses. Inside this nerve is a built-in mechanism known as the anti-inflammatory reflex. When the vagus nerve is stimulated, it can send signals that directly influence how immune cells behave. These signals help regulate the release of certain molecules that drive inflammation. When the vagus nerve is active, it can reduce the production of some of the pro-inflammatory chemicals that are responsible for swelling, tissue irritation, and long-term inflammatory stress. This is not a theoretical idea, but a well-supported physiological process that researchers have observed repeatedly. Breathing plays an important role here because slow, controlled breathing increases vagal activity. When vagal tone rises, the anti-inflammatory reflex becomes more active. This creates a calming effect not only on the nervous system, but also on the immune system. The communication between the brain and the body becomes clearer and more stable. Signals that might have pushed the body into unnecessary inflammation are toned down. This pathway shows how something as gentle as breathing can influence processes that usually seem far outside conscious control. There is growing real-world evidence to support these effects. In several clinical settings, slow breathing practices have been linked with reductions in inflammatory markers in the blood. One of the most notable markers affected is IL-6, a molecule associated with chronic inflammation and stress-related disorders. When patients practice slow, steady breathing for specific periods, their IL-6 levels dropped more noticeably than expected. This suggests that activating the vagus nerve through breathing may offer a simple, accessible way to help manage inflammation. Research on breathing and the vagus nerve has expanded rapidly in recent years, and the findings are becoming harder to ignore. One of the most meaningful pieces of evidence comes from studies that followed participants over several weeks. In one trial, a group practiced slow yoga-style breathing for 12 weeks. The routine was simple and gentle, yet by the end of the program, many participants showed noticeable drops in their blood pressure. The change was strong enough to suggest that slow breathing can be a practical tool for supporting cardiovascular health. This kind of research is important because it shows what happens when breathing practices are used consistently, not just once or twice. Short-term studies have also revealed important effects. Several experiments have measured the body's response within minutes of practicing deep or slow breathing. The results show a clear activation of the parasympathetic nervous system, the branch responsible for relaxation and recovery. Participants experienced shifts away from stress mode almost immediately. Heart rate slowed, breathing patterns became smoother, and nervous system activity moved toward a calm, regulated state. These outcomes were observed even when the breathing sessions were brief, which suggests that the vagus nerve responds quickly to changes in breathing rhythm. The link between breathing and inflammation has also gained scientific attention. Recent reviews have explored how stimulating the vagus nerve, even through non-invasive methods, might help regulate inflammation in the body. These reviews highlight the potential for vagus nerve activation to influence chronic inflammatory conditions. Because the vagus nerve helps control immune signaling, methods that increase vagal activity, including slow breathing, may offer a supportive approach alongside traditional treatments. Researchers are especially interested in how this could affect long-term health issues, where inflammation plays a major role. Altogether, the research shows a consistent pattern. Slow, intentional breathing influences systems that control stress, heart function, and inflammation. The results appear in both short-term tests and longer programs, showing that the body responds on multiple timescales. One of the most effective ways to activate the vagus nerve is through diaphragmatic breathing, often called belly breathing. This method uses the largest and most efficient breathing muscle in the body, the diaphragm. To practice it, breathe deeply through your nose and allow your belly to rise rather than your chest. This movement shows that the diaphragm is pulling downward and giving your lungs more space to expand. When you exhale, let the breath leave slowly and gently. The belly falls back toward the spine. This slow rhythm sends signals through the nervous system that encourage the vagus nerve to engage. The pace of the breath matters just as much as the technique. Slow breathing is far more effective than fast or shallow breathing. The goal is not to take huge breaths or push yourself. It is to settle into a relaxed, steady rhythm. A smooth inhale followed by an even longer exhale helps the body shift toward calmness. Even a few minutes of this style of breathing can produce noticeable changes. The heart rate begins to stabilize, tension decreases, and the body starts to move away from stress mode. Regular practice is where the real benefits come from. Breathing exercises do not require long sessions. Just a few minutes each day can build strength in the vagus nerve and improve how quickly the body returns to a relaxed state after stress. Consistency teaches the nervous system to respond more easily. Over time, the shifts in heart rate, muscle tension, and mental clarity become more natural and automatic. Many people like to practice in the morning to start the day calmly or in the evening to release the weight of daily stress. For those who want to enhance the effect, simple additions can help. Practicing breathing in a quiet environment or paying attention to the sound and feel of each breath can deepen the sense of relaxation. Some people include a light mindfulness focus, such as noticing the movement of the belly or the air passing through the nose. These additions are optional. The breathing itself is what activates the vagus nerve, and even without extras, the method remains powerful and accessible. Modern life places the body under pressure that it was never designed to handle nonstop. Many people wake up already tense, rush through their day with shallow breathing, and fall asleep with their minds still racing. Over time, this constant activation of the stress response creates real physical consequences. Blood pressure creeps higher, inflammation becomes persistent instead of temporary, digestion slows or becomes irregular. The body stays wired and alert even when there is no real danger. This ongoing tension drains energy, affects mood, and places stress on organs that need periods of calm to function properly. This is where the vagus nerve becomes so important. It is the body's natural switch that brings balance back after stress. When it is strong and active, the body can shift out of high alert mode quickly. Using breathing to activate this nerve gives you a tool that requires no equipment, no cost, and no complicated instructions. You can use it anywhere, sitting at a desk, standing in line, resting in bed, or taking a break during a busy day. It is always available because the breath is always with you. Every slow inhale and long exhale sends signals that reverse the effects of daily stress and bring the body back to a healthier baseline. The benefits reach far beyond lowering heart rate or easing muscle tension. Activating the vagus nerve through controlled breathing supports physical systems that are closely tied to long-term health. It helps the heart maintain a steadier rhythm. It encourages blood vessels to relax. It influences inflammation, which plays a role in conditions ranging from joint pain to metabolic issues. When the vagus nerve is engaged regularly, the body becomes better at controlling these processes instead of reacting uncontrollably to stress. The impact is also deeply psychological. As the nervous system calms, the mind becomes clearer and more stable. Stress feels easier to manage, emotional reactions become more balanced, and focus improves. People often notice they feel more grounded and less overwhelmed when the vagus nerve is functioning well. This combination of physical and mental support makes vagus nerve activation through breathing a powerful practice for overall well-being, helping the body and mind work together rather than fight against constant pressure. Breathing techniques can create meaningful shifts in the body, but it is important to keep expectations realistic. These methods work with your biology, not against it, and that means the effects build gently over time. Breathing practices are helpful tools, yet they are not instant cures or replacements for professional care. They support the body rather than override existing medical needs. Understanding this gives a clearer picture of how to use them wisely and effectively. People respond to breathing exercises in different ways. Some feel calmer almost immediately, noticing a softer heartbeat, a quieter mind, and an easier sense of relaxation. Others need more consistent practice before the changes become noticeable. Research reflects this variation. Several studies show clear psychological benefits, such as reduced stress and improved mood. Participants often report feeling more centered and less overwhelmed. However, physiological markers like heart rate variability do not always show dramatic changes for everyone. For some individuals, the shifts are subtle rather than sharp, even when the mental benefits are strong. This difference does not mean the breathing is ineffective. It simply means the nervous system adapts at its own pace. Breathing also interacts with other aspects of health. Someone who sleeps poorly, faces heavy stress, or has underlying medical conditions may require more time before their body responds fully to these techniques. This is why breathing works best when combined with other supportive habits such as regular movement, balanced nutrition, and healthy sleep routines. Breathwork becomes one piece of a larger picture that supports resilience and long-term stability. For people dealing with serious issues like high blood pressure or chronic inflammation, breathing exercises offer valuable support, but they should not replace medical care. These conditions involve complex systems that often need professional monitoring. Breathing can help lower stress levels, encourage relaxation, and improve overall balance, which may assist in managing symptoms, but it is still important to follow medical guidance, continue prescribed treatments, and consult a healthcare professional when needed. Breathing practices are powerful tools, yet they work best when used responsibly, consistently, and alongside a broader approach to health. Take a moment right now and try just 2 minutes of slow, deep belly breathing. Feel your belly rise and fall with each inhale and exhale. Doing this regularly can make a real difference. Try to make it a daily habit, perhaps in the morning to start your day calmly or before sleep to let your body unwind and reset. Over time, these small, consistent practices add up. You may notice calmer thoughts, steadier heartbeats, and better overall health. Remember, your breath is one of the most powerful tools your body has. Use it intentionally, and it will respond. If you found this video helpful, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more simple, science-based ways to support your health. Your journey to calm and balance starts one breath at a time.